Steve Moran here with Senior Housing Forum, and this is one of the sort of the coolest things that I think I've ever done. I think that, and well, we know that all the heavy lifting is being done by frontline team members, in caregivers, housekeepers, food service folks, and in skilled nursing, CNAs. And I suspect, I don't know this is true, but I suspect that a pretty fair number of you who are readers, who are going to be reading this and watching this, have no idea that there's actually an association that's very specifically for CNAs. And they've been around for, tell me how long you've been around?
It'd be 25 years, yep. Perfect.
And they actually do a big conference, and so I'm actually going to shut up now, and I'm going to talk a little bit to Matt Cantrell and Angie York, and let you just talk a little bit about the conference, who's it for, what you do, how many people, where it is, when it is, and all that kind of stuff. So take it away.
Awesome. So my name is Matt Cantrell. I'm the Chief Operating Officer at the National Association of Healthcare Assistants, which is NAHCA. And we have been around, as Steve says, for 25 years. We've held a conference every single year. For the past 2 years, it's been a little bit different. We're hosting it in Little Rock, Arkansas this year on August 28th and 29th. And so basically what it is it's a sometimes international gathering of CNAs. We actually had some last year from the Bahamas who came, which was very cool. But normally it's CNAs from all over the United States coming together, networking, getting great education, recognition, motivation, and just celebrating the spirit of our profession and what we do every single day. And as a lot of the viewers out there, they may be CNAs, and seeing the amount of recognition that CNAs get just day to day in skilled nursing facilities, assisted livings, independent livings all over the country, the amount of recognition just isn't there whenever you compare it to a lot of other professions out there. And that's one thing that NAHCA tries very, very hard to do, is give that recognition to CNAs, because I was a nursing home administrator. Angela was a nursing home administrator. Our co-founder, Lori Porter, started out as a CNA, became an administrator, and then she started the association. So that has been the mission of NAHCA throughout his entire lifetime, is the empowerment and education motivation of CNAs.
I just really love it a lot. Over the last couple of weeks, I've had a chance to talk to some frontline care workers, and they have so many great ideas about how to make senior living communities, nursing homes better. And their number one complaint to me is always that nobody listens to them, that people sort of assume that they're not very smart because they're not highly educated, or they're sort of the bottom of the pecking order. And honestly, they don't get much thanks, right? They get a poor paycheck and they don't get much thanks and they don't get much respect. And you're really changing that with this event. As we were talking before we started the interview, I'm good friends with Kimberly Green at Diconos, and she's a huge supporter, sends a big group of her team members to your CNA Fest, and I love that name. One of the things I'd like to have you talk a little bit about, Matt, is I know that I just registered for the NIC conference, and of course I get a press pass, so I didn't have to pay for it, but I see what the registration fees are, and it is like just crazy expensive. Plus I've got to pay for a hotel. Can you talk to me a little bit about kind of what it costs to go to this conference?
I would love to, Steve. So for our members, which it costs $30 to sign up for a membership, our member cost for attending the conference is $425. Now, what's included in that $425 is 3-night stay, 8 meals, snacks throughout the day, all of the education, We do a Key to Quality Awards banquet where we honor CNAs from all over the country who have dedicated their lives to the CNA profession. So they get all of that. We also do bus transportation from the airport to the venue. So all of that is encompassed within $425, which honestly, if you go anywhere and try to get 3 nights hotel stay just in a city, and that's just the hotel, that usually amounts to around that $425 mark. So you're getting the lodging, the food, the education, the networking opportunities, everything for that price point. The only additional cost would be actually getting to Little Rock, Arkansas.
I don't know how you do that. I mean, I've run some events and I know what it costs. This is like, what a crazy cool bargain. Now, the thing that I wonder about though, Matt, is this. I'm sitting there, I'm a senior living executive, already got a million places to spend money, margins are tight, occupancies are low, and why do this for CNAs? I mean, they're not really, you know, it's not like they make decisions, or why do this?
And that's a great question as well, Steve. And I think that that's a misconception that some operators have, is that CNAs that they think that CNAs wouldn't have any impact on that, when in actuality, some of the best marketing that a skilled nursing facility, assisted living facility, anybody can have is word of mouth, right? So if you can empower your staff to make some of those decisions and take action themselves, empower them, it has great results for not only your residents, but the other staff. It can reduce turnover costs, just a multitude of different things. If you give back to the CNAs, recognize them, motivate them, empower them, I mean, it can drastically reduce your cost and turnover. Plus, you can utilize them as a resource for outside marketing or, specific issues within the building. If you can get somebody who can be a leader, a CNA leader within your facility, that's what this conference it helps to do. It provides that education on how they can take it back to their facility and implement some of the great ideas and strategies that we have here. And it's hard to put a value on that, but $425, I would like to ask the owners and operators, how much are they spending in replacing staff every single month? Is it $2,000, $3,000, $5,000? Who knows?
Well, I think that's one of the things that really resonates with me, is this could be such a huge value add as you're hiring or even working on your retention, because the truth of the matter is right now, most owners aren't willing to spend that money. And so it's a pretty cheap investment in something that's more than just fun, that actually gets people coming back enthusiastic and better trained, right?
Exactly.
So one of the questions I didn't, and I should have probably prepped and asked this question before I got you on video and doing this interview, but I sometimes get distracted and forget doing that. So a large portion of my operators are assisted living, memory care, as opposed to skilled nursing. Does this fit for them or not?
I would say that it definitely does. So whenever I was an administrator, I operated several years in the skilled nursing environment, and then I actually came back and did a year as an administrator of an assisted living in Southwest Missouri. And I kind of had the same question, like, how different is this going to be than skilled nursing? And it is different, the day-to-day, but at the end of the day, the things that we talk about transcend just the narrow silo of, skilled nursing. It encompasses more than just skilled nursing. It encompasses anything whenever it comes to senior living. And so, just the things that we talk about are definitely translatable. I mean, one of the things that we'll be talking about that Angie's actually going to be helping present on, I hope I'm not giving too much away here, but that is personality profiles, and how we use the DISC personality profile assessment. And whenever you can understand how your own personality interacts with not only other staff, but residents, family members, supervisors, and just seeing how people's perceptions can differ based on what kind of personality type they are. I mean, that doesn't just fit into the silo of skilled nursing facility. That can be used in assisted living, memory care, independent living, as well as just daily life.
Terrific. So, Angie, we kind of have left you out of the conversation so far. From your perspective, working for a number of years as a skilled nursing administrator, why are you doing this? Why is this so important to you?
Well, you know, I've worked for all sizes of companies. I've worked for small owners that own 30 buildings. I've worked for companies that own 500. And as an administrator, I went in and I was like a cleanup administrator. I would go into buildings that were having staffing and financial and regulatory. And like I said before we got on the call, I met Lori when I was Matt's age, a very young administrator. And the first time I heard her speak, and when she started talking about the philosophy of empowering the people that are closest to the residents, you know, that's what I did my entire career. And I found that homes that I had that were the most successful, that had better clinical outcome, better financial outcome, lower turnover rates, CNAs feeling like they had a voice, were homes that empowered CNAs. You know, Lori, throughout my career, no matter what state I was in, she came several times and spoke to state associations. She actually came to some of my facilities and spent time and did workshops with our CNAs there. And so last year when I decided to start doing more of consulting and trying to be an advocate and a fundraiser for NACA, I help with operations. I am trying to connect and get our nonprofit arm of NACA started so that we can have foundations and individuals that truly understand the importance right now, especially in our nation, that we are in desperate need of people who are passionate about elder care. And it can be CNAs that are from hospitals and skilled nursing and hospice and home health. I think it is an opportunity that needs to grow because CNAs from all over the nation can be connected digitally. And, you know, Matt, he knows a lot more about this than I do, but NACA has 20 years of online skills improvement for CNAs. We have preceptor courses. We have geriatric specialist courses. We have courses that, you know, I'm in a home and they needed a course about communication. So they took the online course, and then I was, as a consultant, able to give dialogue. And these CNAs can be connected through Facebook and through the organization and through membership. And that is so needed right now.
So, Angela, it sounds terrific. So I guess I want to sort of say to my readers, there are kind of three pitches or two pitches. I'm not got to figure this out. There's probably three things that I'd like to say. The first is that great opportunity to really differentiate yourself as an employer by sending some of your frontline staff to this conference. So, and not a very big investment to do that. The second thing I would say is that, you know, you're looking at this and you're saying, I'm not sure I'm going to send some people. Send some money. Help make it so that somebody else can go, that this organization can grow and continue to serve. And if you're selling products or services into senior living or skilled nursing, this is something that you ought to go exhibit at, support in some fashion. You might look at it and say, those guys can't make any decisions, but we have so many stories. People like you, Matt, who started out as a CNA and became an administrator. And so some of these folks will be people that will be one day in a position to make buying decisions. And I would add that there will be some decision makers who are at the conference. There will be administrators who are there. And so I would just really, really encourage you to do that. It's going to be in Little Rock. The date's what again?
August 28th and 29th.
Perfect. And we'll post some links on that. Matt, Angie, thank you so much for spending some time with me. This is so cool. I'm going to see if I can maybe figure out how to go myself.